that there were going to be heaps of people, including girls, who I would meet in Melbourne who were just as excited about engineering as I was. So I was surprised when instead it took me until the end of first semester at university before I found all 5 of us in the mechatronics engineering degree at Melbourne University out of the 50 people taking it. I later found out that only 10% of engineers are females. During my second year at university, I was in the winning team of an entrepreneurship competition, and the head of the electrical engineering department, Professor Jamie Evans, presented the award. I approached him afterwards and asked whether the department would be able to provide some funding for a simple robot that my friends and I wanted to build. He said that he was looking for a group of engineering students to go to a school and teach some 12-year-old girls robotics. Between the ages of 10 to 14, students still haven't decided on their senior year subjects yet and still have the power to determine what they do in the future. We could actually make a difference to the number of females studying engineering. I went away and thought, if we can teach girls at one school, why don't we just teach the girls at all the schools? And so I drafted up a plan whereby that could happen. I recruited my friends, and we designed robotics lessons, called schools, and recruited even more volunteers. And so Robogals was born. Robogals aims to get girls interested in engineering and technology careers and tertiary studies. Our primary activity is going to schools with Lego robots and teaching girls about robotics and about all the different kinds of engineering and what engineering is and how it makes a difference to our lives. Most school students don't know what engineering is, and so we try to introduce the word into their vocabulary. We tell them that engineering is a practical application of science to make things in the world better. In the first 3 months, Robogals taught 124 girls from 5 schools in Melbourne. I also learnt a lot about managing volunteers, nurturing them into leadership roles, and leading a team to achieve real-world results. At the end of the year, I empowered a new president and left Robogals Melbourne to run without me while I went on exchange for 10 months to Imperial College London. Right from week 1 of beginning Robogals, I had dreamed that Robogals would be an international organisation, but I didn't know anyone outside of Cairns and Melbourne. Going to London, I felt was my chance to grow Robogals into an international organisation. However, it was so overwhelming being in such a large city that even though I wanted to start up Robogals there, I didn't know where to begin. After 3 months there, though, I realised there was nothing like Robogals in London, and if I wanted to make a difference to the young girls in London, then I would need to be the one that did it. No one showed up to the first 2 Robogals meetings I held in London, but I persisted and kept emailing back the people who said they were interested. And finally, many volunteers and many months later, I found 2 very committed female engineering students who spearheaded the organisation in the UK. While in the UK, I noticed that a lot of the student organisations weren't just in one place. They were national, probably because England is so small. I decided that that's what I wanted for Robogals in Australia. If we were national, we could make an even bigger impact. And so I contacted 4 other universities in Australia to gauge their responses, including UNSW. All were positive. After months of back and forth emails and planning, we held the first Robogals conference at Melbourne University in September 2009, just 13 months after Robogals was born. The Robogals conference, called ASSIGN, is named after the sine wave and is an acronym for Seminars Inducting New Executive Committee Members. We got a bit creative there. The SIGN is held annually in each region and introduces our Robogals Executive Committee members from around the country to Robogals, gives them a crash course in each of the 6 roles of a Robogals chapter committee, trains them in building and programming the Lego NXT robot that's used in the robotics workshops, and lets them share skills and experiences while giving them a chance to build a national network of female engineering peers. At the end of it all, we now had new Robogals chapters at the University of New South Wales, University of Queensland, University of Adelaide, and University of Western Australia. The first sign was so successful, we repeated it in England 6 months later. And our second sign in Australia was held here at UNSW in September 2010. The latest sign we ran was in February 2012 at the California Institute of Technology, which is the best university in the world according to the Times Higher Education Supplement. So far, Robogals has run 7 signs, expanded to 19 chapters in 6 countries, ran robotics workshops for over 4,000 girls, and given engineering career talks to over 5,000 girls. We've also developed the Robogals Rural and Regional program, which brings our work to rural and regional areas in Australia, and introduced the Robogals Science Challenge, a national competition for girls aged 5 to 18, where girls find problems in their schools, homes, and communities, create a project to solve the problem, i.e. do some engineering, and then film a 4-minute video of their project to win some great prizes. Dreaming big from the beginning gave us the inspiration and direction to achieve big. And if you want to work on great things and change the world, you have to dream big. Starting up Robogals hasn't all been smooth sailing though. Being an organisation run entirely by university student volunteers, up to and including myself, there have been numerous stumbling blocks along the way. People not having enough time to do their role properly amongst the pressures of studies and part-time work. Long periods with vacant positions not filled. Team breakdowns, and a very high turnover in volunteers. All these things have improved over time, but like any fledgling organisation, we have many challenges ahead. Robogals is now working on developing a 3 to 5 year strategy that will take us into lots of new projects that inspire girls about engineering, but most importantly, we will continue to reach girls through schools. It is a risk to go out on a limb and chase your passion, but the only people who end up doing a job that they truly love are the ones that go on and step out onto that limb. You may slip and fall, but it's hard to get something right the first time. So keep trying, and don't give up, because life's a game and it doesn't end until you die. And so today, as you sit here with your whole lives ahead of you, my message to you is to have big dreams, have big ideas, to take risks, and to not worry about failure, because you don't have to get it right the first time. Enjoy the game of life.
On behalf of the university and everyone assembled here this evening, I'd like to thank you very much, Marita, for sharing your own story and your insights with us, and it's been very inspiring to hear of your achievements and your journey. Thank you. You may have read in your program that the university mace is a symbol of dignity and authority designed and crafted in New South Wales. I'd like to recognise the contribution of Associate Professor Maury Panuco for fulfilling the important role of mace bearer today. Thank you. I now invite the Associate Dean of the Faculty, Dr. David Clements, to make some concluding remarks.
Thank you, Pro-Chancellor. Graduation ceremonies like this evening's happen because of the achievement of our graduates, but they're also the result of the skill and hard work of many members of the university staff, some of whom are here on the stage this evening. I know those of you who are graduating this evening and your families will wish to join with me to thank those staff who have made this event possible. We all recognise the absolutely indispensable role that families and friends have played in helping to bring the new graduates to this day of triumph. It's wonderful seeing so many of you here to share in the rightful sense of achievement of your loved ones. And as the new graduates came forward to receive their testoma, you've been extremely generous in your applause for each and every one of them. So now I'm going to ask the new graduates to return the compliment. So would all of those who have graduated this evening please stand, turn around and face your family and friends. And now please thank your family and friends by clapping. And now salute them by raising your hat. Thank you. Could you please now turn around and retake your seat? So that brings to an end the formal proceedings of this graduation ceremony. Would the audience now please stand while the official party leaves the auditorium? Thank you.